Hello everybody, welcome to the video. My name is Medici and today I bring you some more Age of Origins. This time around we're going to be checking the officer system as well as the officer skill system. So we'll go through everything that you need to know about these two things and how you can use them to increase your battle power in Age of Origins. So let's get into it. Alright, so officers are a thing that you can find onto this little building, the command center, and if you click on officers you can find that there is 4 different types of them. You can see that I have directors and you can see them down here. If you scroll left and right you can find all the different officers that you have of that type. Then there is a strategy type of officers, there is the drill masters, and there is the warfare officers. So there will be 3 different tiers of officers. You have purple ones, you have rare ones, which are the blue ones, and then you have the... Actually, I'm not really sure what they're called, but anyways, you have the green ones, which are the lowest tier ones, the weakest ones. Therefore, obviously, you want to be getting as many of the purple ones as you can, because they're going to be having the strongest skills. Now, as we mentioned skills, there is also the officer skills. Those are a different system that you can find within the officers. Now, every officer will come with one skill of their own, so you can choose what officer to use based on that skill, but then you can also slot other skills onto the officers based on what you want to get out of them, as well as based on the type of officer. So for example, the director type of officers will be able to slot in any of these skills on the staff. As you can see, all of these skills are basically increasing your gather speed or your output speed for your buildings in your city. So this will be the kind of officers that will just not give you any battle power, or rather any military sort of power, but they will increase the efficiency of you getting some resources. So you can't really slot in all military powers into every single officer, because that's not how it works. You gotta respect the types of officers and the type of skills that you can slot in them. But yeah, that's what you can do. You can choose what skill you want to be slotting into the slots. Now let's run it back a little bit and go back onto the officers. So as you can see here on the appoint section, you can see all the officers in a little bit more of a tidy sort of way. As you can see the different types: the director, strategy, drill master, and warfare. I am not able to slot in the last slot, basically because I'm not level 30. So once I reach commander level 30, I am level 28 right now. That's when I'll be able to get my last officer. Now, every officer will have one skill, as I mentioned before. That skill always comes with them, but then you will be able to add extra skills onto them as you star up the officer. So as you can see, my officer has 3 stars right now and 2 tips onto the 4th star. Now, once I reach 4 stars, 4 full stars, that's when I'll be able to unlock the last slot for this officer. So I'll be able to slot in 1 more skill onto the officer. Now, as I mentioned, you will choose one officer or the other depending on what the skill of that officer looks like. So this one will increase the advanced training, will be increasing the recruitment speed. So that's the skill that always comes with the officer. The first one up there, that's the one that's going to be coming with the officer. If you go to a different officer, you will see that this guy has a different thing: max fleet units. So this is basically going to be making your fleet bigger. That's pretty good. I maybe should switch this one, but yeah, that's another option. You can always go ahead and choose one or the other depending on what you want. So for example, this one will come with war mobilization. Fleet units bonus limit plus 3,450 takes effect in cross-nation battles, but by 1.5 times. So basically increasing your fleet size even more. And this one will have a max wounded 20.8%. That's a lot of max wounded. That's going to be reducing the amount of troops that you lose every time you are going to be attacking something or being attacked. So that's also pretty good. But yeah, that's the way you choose officers based on what you want to get out of them. I'm not really going to tell you which are the best, because it depends on what you want to get out of the game at the time. Some officers will give you bigger bonuses in one side of the game or the other, and in any case, yeah, there is so many officers that it's really up to you. Now, what you really have a lot of agency over is the skills, as I mentioned. So right here you can see the director type of skills. Let's go to the strategy ones. For example, you can see I have the green ones. The ones that are in green are the skills that I have slotted into my officers, and it's gonna tell you the level of a skill as well as who is bearing that skill. So you can go ahead and click on any other skills. For example, this one, max wounded ratio, I can click on manage, and here is where I can use my officer skill XP. So these books are going to be increasing my officer skill experience, the accumulated one, by 50 every book. So if I increase the amount of books that I'm putting into the skill, then I can confirm, and that's going to level it up, and therefore giving me an increase in total power for my commander. Now I can also fuse skills. Now what's fusing skill? Fusing skill is a system, excuse me, where you take a bunch of skills that you have a lot of them. For example, here I have 12 of the same one, and I can go ahead and click on fuse and change those 10 into something else. So defense tower damage is going to be fusing into defense tower damage once again. That was quite unlucky anyways, but yeah. You can basically exchange the excess of skills that you have for something else. Maybe you want to have some more of something else. So for example, here I have gather steel, I have all expert, so I can increase the output, I can increase the gather speed here. So if I fuse this, I can exchange load for load once again. In any case, that's how you can exchange your excess of a lot of the same skills into something else. You can also obviously recruit officers. I don't really have many fragments right now, but you can get 3 free recruits every day, and basically you just click on the free recruit in this case and you get this cool animation. You can also skip the animation, of course, and you're gonna be getting 1 fragment in this case. If you are summoning a lot of them, you will be getting a lot of fragments, so that's gonna be pretty cool. And of course, using on that the elite fragments instead is gonna give you better types of officers and fragments and whatnot. So you can see here the chances depending on what you're using. Elite recruitment is going to give you better stuff, whereas normal recruitment is going to give you other types of things. So yeah, that's how you get more stuff for your officers to be getting stronger. As you can see here, I can star up this officer, which I am using, and that means that I'm going to be consuming some of these fragments to turn this officer into a stronger version of itself by increasing the amount of stars that it has. So I'll just go ahead and do that, consume the fragments, and getting to have 1 extra grade onto the 3rd star. That means that, yeah, I have 1 more little tip onto the 4th star. Now you can also level up the officers and also level up the skills. So once you go to the appoint section, you will see that I have a lot of stuff that's telling me to level it up. So I can go ahead and click on one of these guys, for example. I can click on to, for example, this one, which is pretty good. It increases the troop attack for every single one of my troops. And I can click on the plus sign and use my officer skill books to increase these officers' power, basically. And once it reaches the next point, you can see here, level 15, I can click on confirm, and it increases my power for my character, my commander, and also increase the bonuses that I get out of the skills of that officer. So basically, it's gonna make all the skills on the officer stronger, and that is basically very, very, very good. Now, we can also go ahead and level up the skills of the officer, excuse me. So to do that, I'll just go to officer skills like I was doing before, and I'll click on here, and once again I'll just upgrade that like we did before, and there you go. I got a little bit more power up out of that. So you can have quite a versatile set of options. You can choose the type of skills you want to be slotting onto the officers you want to be choosing. The skills don't really matter, don't really have to do much with the specific officers, just with the type of officer, but that's where the big decision will be laying in what the officer that you want to be using is going to be. So that's where you will have to choose that based onto what the first skill that they are offering is going to be. Now, once they reach 5 stars, every officer will have a breakthrough skill, and that skill is going to be, for example, this one here. Your troops have a 31% chance of a power strike, dealing 1.5% of damage, or 1.5 times the damage, rather. So that otherwise that would be pretty bad. So yeah, as you can see here, leveling up your officers really yields some pretty good stuff. You just gotta put in the time and effort into it. So now, in order to get a lot of officer fragments, you can go ahead and use the officer exchange store, where you basically turn in some of these coins, which you can get for selling your non-used officer fragments. As you can see here, I'm selling like blue and green types of officers, and I'm getting some coins for that. And then I go onto the buy section. You can refresh the store, and you can just keep on buying the officer fragments that you are interested in. In this case, I'm pretty much buying all the purple ones that I am using, because I'm gonna be getting benefits out of using that. You can also buy other stuff like biochemical materials and whatnot. I'm just choosing to buy the other fragments. And you can also get some increases to your basically getting some skill XP books, as well as officer XP books. You can get that out of the black market if you're lucky enough. You can refresh it, and sometimes you will be getting those books out of this, and you can use your basically exchange some of your resources for the money, and then use that money to buy what you want out of here. You can also get that out of the exchange store for the infinite zombie mode. So you can go to infinite zombie, you can play this, get some TD coins, then go to the exchange store, and down here all the way to the bottom you can buy some officer skill XP books, which are are really gonna be, or rather officer XP books, which are really gonna be a big boost onto leveling those officers. So yeah, that's really all about this system. I'm not gonna tell you what officers to choose, but I'm just gonna let you know how you can upgrade them, how you can get a benefit out of the officer system, and all in all, then just to increase your total officer power so you can get some better power out of that and increase the rest of your power in the rest of the game. So yeah, hope you find it useful, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, if you got any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be answering them as much as I can, and anything you want to know, I'll be telling you if I know the answer to that, of course. And yeah, anyways, I'll be seeing you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, bye bye, see ya, bye.